Hello everyone, Varuchi here. I just wanted to come on here and share my story. On September 1st, I was in a motorcycle accident here in Thailand. My parents' home that I currently live in is in Rangsit, which is a little bit outside of Bangkok city. But so near my home, or near Thailand, they have these motorcycle taxis. They're called Win. And you know, there's one right near the closest to near my home. They're called Win VIP, VIP. That's the name of the taxi, motorcycle taxi stop. But you know, so I normally take the Win, you know, I'm a regular, they know me, I know them, but you know, we're not close or anything. And the Wins are mainly, that's what they call the taxi drivers, they're mainly men. And I don't know, it's just, you know, they're interesting types of individuals. But so on that day, it was a Sunday, you know, I had just gotten a massage, you know, in the other part of Rangsit. And, you know, it was just, so it was like evening, and I went to the 7-Eleven across the street by Sear. And, you know, it was just a normal, regular Sunday, you know. And if we're talking about on a spiritual level, you know, especially in terms of the law of attraction, you know, honestly, it's been hard living here in Thailand. Like, I've struggled a lot. And, you know, has my vibration been necessarily high, and have I, you know, been in the vortex and to talk about Abraham and da-da-da? I mean, yes and no, you know. And I feel like I've been making the most of my situation. I've been trying to remain positive, trying to, you know, think in terms of, but what am I saying? So that day, I had a feeling of like, well, Varut, you know, you should walk home. Because sometimes I walk home, you know, I would like to walk, and you know, you save money so you don't have to pay for the taxi, and it's good exercise, da-da-da. But I was just like, oh, you know, whatever, I'm just gonna take the taxi, you know, it's convenient. And then that day, you know, so we were driving home, and right as we're about to get to my street, these two boys, they're playing soccer on the street. But it's like, you know, a little, what do you call it? It's called Muban. It's like a little suburb, little housing neighborhood, or I don't know what you call it. But these two guys, these two little children, they're probably like 12 or 13, two boys, they were playing soccer. And normally you're not supposed to play soccer on the street because it's very narrow and there are a lot of cars, but also they don't really have like a park or whatever. And there is a soccer field in our area, but you have to rent it. So I don't know, all that to say is around this area there's not really many parks. So they were playing soccer, and I was sitting in the back, and the Win is number 8. He's number 8. Okay, this is important, just keep that in mind. So we were driving. I was as we were about to reach my home. So I kind of hear the boys, you know, they're kind of screaming, but as we're on, because I'm on the 4th street, and then on the 5th street, as we were about to pass it, I'm sitting in the back, and then out of nowhere, there's a ball. It hits the motorcycle, and both me and the Win, we fall. And then before you know it, I'm on the ground. You know, everyone in the neighborhood around there has come out to check, and you know, I'm about to cry, and you know, the motorcycle driver is like, you know, he's like in pain, and then the boys, they like come and try to apologize, but then there's blood all over me. I have scrapes, you know, my hand is hurting, hence the cast. And then, you know, all of a sudden there's like blood, and I see white and cartilage and whatever, and then fucking and then flies come out of nowhere, and then like they just, you know, because they smell my blood, and then before you know it, you know, obviously I'm in a state of shock, right? I just fell off a motorcycle. But then, and then they call the ambulance, and then now I'm worried about my fucking insurance because I only have like the universal health care, and then so it's like stressful, and we're like, which hospital are we gonna go to? How much is it gonna cost? Do I have enough money? Is this gonna be expensive? And obviously, you know, I didn't think to like take photos or get evidence or get, you know, driver's license, because I was like so shocked. You know, this never happened to me in Thailand. Or, you know, if I've been in an injury overseas, it's usually self-caused, right? It's an accident. But then, so then this is like, oh shoot. But then it's like, so he has insurance, and then now the ambulance drivers are like, well, you know, you guys should go here because it's cheaper, it's free or whatever. I don't know. But before we know it, both of us are whisked off into the fucking ER room here at Rangsit, and then I'm just fucking on the ER bed, you know, and then they come and get our information, and then so the leader of the win of, you know, number 8, so they're, you know, they have like, it's like a group, you know, a little gang, but they're all wearing orange jackets, but it's part of like a state, not state, but like a city win. It's like a motorcycle taxi, you know, they have like a union or whatever. But so the leader, he, you know, files a police report. So then I'm just kind of like, okay, so, you know, there were witnesses that day, you know, I'm sure they just told the truth and shared the story and, you know, talked about what happened that day. So, I go to the hospital, you know, I'm using the motorcycles guy's insurance. It's called Palabal, which is basically the insurance that every driver has to buy, right? I mean, it's kind of a law like in America where everyone needs some kind of car or whatever insurance, right? So it's just a big old headache, you know? I have a fucking, after an X-ray, I have a broken thumb, I have scrapes, you know, and then the motorcycle taxi driver just like disappears, you know? He lives in this house next door. He lives in like a little apartment building next door, and then his wife works across the street, but, you know, a week goes by, you know, and then I'm like furious, right? I'm trying to like, you know, I'm from America, right? You know, we need to get compensation, we need to law and order, justice, you know, you need to claim, get a lawyer, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, and everyone I talk, a lot of people are like, you need to file a police report, you need to get justice, you need to get compensation for your injury, and I'm just like, so okay, so that day, oh, I didn't mention, there are 2 parents, a mom and dad, there are 2 kids, right? So a set of parents, he works as like a volunteer police, or I don't even know what they're called, but so he, you know, that day he's at the hospital with his wife, but so on that day, he gets furious at the child, right? And he starts yelling and starts cursing and making this big old scene. But then, so it's just kind of like, okay, well, that's the kind of person he is. So the next day I hear stories that he like chased the child around the neighborhood and tried to hit them and child abuse. But so I'm just kind of like, okay, so this is what the parents are like. So clearly, obviously your child is gonna fucking act out and do stupid shit because, you know, you're not raising them with love and care. But that's neither here or there. So, you know, I have my injury. I'm trying to get to the bottom of this, trying to figure out who the hell am I gonna fucking get money from? Who am I gonna claim insurance from? Who is gonna help me? Who's gonna fucking compensate me? So this whole time, you know, I asked the fucking hospital employees, the insurance lady who works at the hospital, and like, I even asked my doctor, like, what can I do? And the nurses and and everyone just kind of like gives me the cold shoulder. Nobody has an answer. I called the insurance 3 times and like, nobody tells me like what I actually need to do. You know, everyone's just trying to protect their own ass, obviously. And, you know, nobody wants to get too involved because, you know, it's none of their business or da da da, whatever, I don't know. But, so, all this to say, you know, what from the information I've gathered is that I need to file a police report. So then I go to the police station. Okay, ooh, this is the kicker. So I get a number, you know, I'm just trying to law and order, you know, I'm just trying to fucking, whatever 911, this 911, you know, Reno 911, I don't know. I'm just trying to fucking have some kind of evidence so that I can, you know, claim something, right? Evidence, you need evidence. So I'm at the police station, right? This is probably like, the timeline is probably like a week or so after, or a week and a half, because I'm just like, girl, I need to do something. So then I'm at the police station, right? And then I grab a number. I wait for like an hour and a half, you know, all the meantime I'm like peeing a couple times and da-da-da, and then, so they finally call my number. And this police officer, I still remember his face, he's at fucking box number 4, and then he just like, you know, I start to tell him the story, what happened that day, you know, according to my own observation, da-da-da, and then he just like, you know, pretends to type, goes to another computer, types, and then out of nowhere he fucking stops and like helps this Air Force dude, while I just sit there and I have to wait for him to help this Air Force dude, and then by the time he like finishes his little thing, he comes back to me and he's just like, here's a piece of paper, and it's the police report from the first day, who the leader of the other wing, he you know, informed them in order for us to claim the insurance, right? So I get the police paper and I'm like, and then all he says is, call this number. This is the person, this is the police officer who's in charge of your case. Okay, so I get the piece of paper, I go home, I ask the ladies in my neighborhood, like, so what does this mean? You know, because I can't really read Thai, right? You know, I'm fluent in speaking Thai, but I can't really read Thai. Okay, so I learned to find out is that he, so the leader that day, the leader of the win, he reported that number 8, you know, fell. He just fell. And there's no cause. It just, he lost control, he fell, and I was a passenger that day. He didn't mention the kids, he didn't mention the soccer ball, he didn't mention anything. So I was like, what? And he doesn't even give the phone number of number 8. He just gives his own phone number, but now I have this police report, right? And there's so there's the 2 names of, there's the leader and then there's the number 8 and then there's me, right? So it just says that I fell from, and I was riding on that day. So there was no story, no incident, and mind you, this is just like a police report. It's not like an actual like case. Not case, but what do you call it? It's not an actual like ongoing case. It's just that day to claim the insurance. So then, you know, what I do is I go back the next day and so I call the number multiple times, and the person who's in charge doesn't call me back. I don't even know if they're a man, a woman, non-binary. I don't know anything about them. And the name that they gave me is, the person who took the information down and the name of the person who's in charge of my case, I don't know their names. I'm so confused. And then, so I go again, and then there's a lady who's working at the front desk of the police station. She's like, she pulls out, so how it works is, I need to know what day that the officer comes in order for me, you know, and then they come in at 6-hour shifts in order for me to file a police report, because no one else can help me, only the person in charge of the case. And turns out this person like rarely comes in like 2-3 days a week. I don't even know, like they have such a like loose schedule, and they're like, it's crazy. So then, you know, I get these 2 dates. Okay, so they're gonna come in on the 15th and the 19th. So that's about two weeks later, and then two and a half weeks later. So my, my nice, kind, forgiving, spiritual self, I try to be like, you know what, it's okay. I'm gonna let it go because, not everyone, a lot of people told me that like, well, the police, they don't care, it's such a small case, or if you want anything done, you're gonna have to pay under the table or whatever, da 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 da. And I'm just like, okay. So then and then, I try to talk to the motorcycle taxi driver that day, and he kind of just like, all he talks about is how much injured he is and how he's off of work. I'm like, hello, I was also injured, girl. So I'm just like, Varu, I'm just gonna chill out. I'm just gonna let this go. Not let it go, but I'm just gonna give him an opportunity, give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he'll try to help me. So I get information that on the 15th, right, he's about to get money from one of the parents. So one of the parents of the child, so there's two set of parents and they're like family members, and there's two children, remember? So then the 15th comes, and then I'm like waiting for the wife, because the taxi driver told me that he's not gonna go get the money, he's gonna let his wife get it. So I'm just like, what? And I don't even know what they agreed on, because they agreed on something, but they didn't fill me on it. So I was like, what? So a couple days go by, and then I find out that he received 5,000 baht from a parent of there, right? So I go over to the parents' home. They live literally on the next street, and then he kind of like gives me, the runaround and tells me to call his, his brother, which is the volunteer police from that day. And then and I call him, and then so that dad told me that he paid already, right? So and then I call the dad, and then he tells me like, you need to stop threatening me. You need to go to the taxi driver, the motorcycle taxi driver, and if you really think you're all that, file the police, call the police, make a police report. So then I like hang up. I'm like, oh, so that's how it's gonna be. All right, so now I know. Like I told you, this is the same dad who was chasing around his child, about to beat him and threaten him, right? So I hang up, I'm on the verge of tears, this other lady in my neighborhood wants to like take me to the police station, but I've just literally had enough. And then I'm just furious at this point, it's been 2-3 weeks and I'm fucking stressed. I'm like anxious. I am, sleep deprived. I am fucking, my vibration is so low, and just like, I'm breaking out and all this stuff. But all that to say, it's like, I had reached my breaking point. Okay, so I was just like, you know what, Varu, you need to just let it go. Let it go. So then a couple days go by, and then I try to talk in the community group chat. We have a community group chat. And then the lady who works at the other motorcycle taxi place down the street, she tries to help me, right? So I go to the taxi driver's apartment building, and I try to, talk to him. But then the building manager slash, a maid, housekeeping, she like refuses to give me his number, refuses to get me to help, says that he's out, but like, I don't know, she's just trying to protect her own ass. And then me and the lady of the motorcycle taxi leave a message with the building manager to come and talk to me. So a day or two goes by, silence. He refuses to come talk to me, come settle this, come take any form of responsibility. He wants to just, quiet it down, and just hopefully it'll all go away. Well, you know what? Karma's a bitch, okay? So the next day, I go with the motorcycle taxi lady to the police station, And guess who's fucking there again? That same guy from the first date at fucking aisle number 4. And he's just like, well, you need to come tomorrow. So I literally paid 200 baht just to go there and back. And then yesterday I had the opportunity. I knew that the owner of my case was gonna come in from 12 to 6, but I chose to not go because I've had enough. And I'm gonna take responsibility for my own vibration, my own life, my own actions. And you know, I'm done blaming. I'm done blaming the taxi driver. I'm done blaming the parents. I'm done blaming the other 2 parents and the kids. I forgive them. You know, it's not, obviously I still am angry. I'm still resentful. Do I still have a grudge? Yes. But am I gonna like, bang, 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 gonna keep going to the fucking police station? Am I gonna keep fighting for justice? Am I gonna keep, you know, making sure he pays, you know, whatever? No, I'm done. I'm literally done. So, all this to say is, I'm tired, you know? And I know that, you know, the quote that keeps popping up in my mind is, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind. So many people's ego was telling me, Varu, you know, you need to get back at them, you need to make them pay, you know, you're not gonna get injured for free, but I'm not gonna listen to that voice, you know? I'm gonna let it go. I'm tired, okay? I am literally so fucking exhausted. You know, I've literally been on the edge like many days since this past. It's been, how many days? It's been 26 days since this whole entire debacle happened. And I've received 0 baht, except, you know, I'm covered up to 30,000 baht by his insurance. But that's, you know, that's a given. You know, you pay for insurance, you need to cover your passengers. That's a given. But I've gotten 0 compensation, you know. What I'm gonna do now after this is I'm gonna claim insurance, right? Because what people don't know is that you can actually claim insurance for you know, you can claim, it's called Ka Sin Mai Ka Pop Hwan, and it's like the other forms of losses, which is, you know, transportation, which is loss of job, loss of time, loss of emotional damage. You can claim that. So people don't know that you can claim that, but you can claim it. But the only thing in order for me to claim it is for him, the owner of the insurance, he needs to admit fault. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Or maybe if the parents have to admit, I don't know, but they're not even in the fucking police report, so there's no fucking evidence to get the parents. So, whatever, you know? The owner, the leader of the motorcycle chose to lie. He chose to not tell the whole truth. And then the motorcycle taxi driver chose to not go to the police in order to tell the truth. Tell the truth. Whatever, he got money from the parents, but he didn't share any with me, so shame on him, you know? Karma's a bitch. You wanna fucking, not take responsibility for, you know, your job and your passenger, that's on you. It's not on me. And to the parents who fucking won't help me or give me any kind of compensation, shame on you as well. So, I'm done. I'm tired, okay? I need a fucking vacation. I need a drink. I need some cake. I need, you know, some bubble tea. I don't know what the fuck. I need something. But this is Varuchi signing out, okay? We're done. This is me letting it go. I'm not gonna bring this up anymore. You know, I'm almost healed. And, you know, my doctor, like, what a bitch. Ugh, I don't even want to talk about it. But then, I've had enough. I hope you found this entertaining. I hope you found this informative. And I hope you learned from my mistake. And you know, whatever. I don't know. But now I know the next time I get into an accident, photos, 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 evidence, 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 you know, claim, 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 insurance, insurance, insurance. And now I know, you know, whatever. I don't know. Is there justice in this world? Maybe. Are there good people in this world? Maybe. Is the truth, will the truth and the light always win? I think so. Am I a good person? Yes. Have I done my best? Yes. Am I doing a good job? Yes. Am I worthy? Yes. Am I loved? Yes. Okay. that's it, you all. Varucci signing out. I love you all so much. And don't forget, Varut is on fire. Hey. Clock that tea. Well, yes. Well, yes. Well, yes. Love you all so much. Bye.